Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man? It is so bright in here.
Hey, good evening, guys, and welcome to Big Sexy Outdoors Indoors podcast. Thank you for everyone joining us. Go ahead.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
We'll be back.
Hey, do you know tonight we have somebody special in studio?
Who do we have? Oh, look at that. There he is.
What's up, guys?
Skippy himself. So Skippy will be joining us tonight live the whole time. Tonight we're going to kind of go back to the old way. On top of the old way, we're going to mix it up a little bit. So I think you guys will like tonight. Tonight's topic is, Chris?
This is because I wasn't sure what we wanted to do, so I wanted to do goose hunting because it's coming up on goose hunting season, and dang it, I want to talk about geese.
So Chris loves to goose hunt,
and
we are
Lord.
Going to talk about Canada goose. I said Canada. Jesus, why did I say Canada?
That's okay. It's all your dang fault too. Do you remember that the first? Okay, listen. You're gonna love this. I don't know if you're gonna love it, Skip, because you might yell at me. Because you're probably gonna yell at me. I'm used. That's all right. I'm married. I'm used to it. But so the first time me and Flubber here, we go out goose hunting. He takes me to these awesome spots, and I am never gonna deny it. Right? One was. We were. It was so full of them. We sat there in lawn chairs. We didn't even need a blind, and they were coming over. But the greatest was out at this small pond, and there were what, like 2 dozen, maybe 2.5 dozen or something like that on the pond.
Oh yeah, that was a ton.
And we did a marine crawl with the guns up to the pond. And as soon as we get there, we're like, ready? 1, 2, and we pop up on the pond and just start blasting everything. And oh my God, we had so many to clean that day.
Well, hey,
but yeah,
off topic of goose. You know, me and the midget Brown one time went turkey hunting.
That's my brother.
Yeah, that's how we all know him.
We went
AKA
turkey hunting
Bucky.
one time. Poor Tommy. We went turkey hunting one time. So we're hunting my dad's land, and we pull in at my dad's house, and I said, usually up on top of this bank, there's usually turkey hanging in the field. Now, from where you crest the top of the bank to the edge of that field is about 20 foot.
Yeah.
So I heard him up there. So me and Tommy started creeping up to the edge of that crest of that hill. I just peeked up over, and I bet you there was, I don't know, 2 gobblers, 3 jakes, and 1 or 2 hens. I said to Tommy, I said, when you get up, just blast. He ended up shooting a turkey. He ended up shooting, I think, a jake.
Yeah,
Really?
The smallest bird there, he said. All them birds, he shot the smallest one.
Yeah, there was like 20 of them.
I remember that story like it was yesterday because he was so excited. And then Skippy mounted the claws, giving the middle fingers on the platform.
No.
Oh, yeah, he did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did. I won't forget it.
Then we went fly fishing right after that.
But Skippy's on tonight. So Skippy is not an avid goose hunter, but is intrigued by goose hunting. So I have some questions out here. I'm gonna throw at these guys. We're going to see what these guys' answers are. And then what I'm going to do is funny because what I did is I Google searched and I took the top answers in that category. So even though there were different answers, I went through and I found a percentage that was real high of an answer. And we're going to give you guys that answer tonight. I feel like I feel like that's going to be a really good way to see everybody's different mindset in it and where we're at. Also, give you the recommended answer by the majority.
Mm-hmm.
And it will definitely take a break because there's always decoys, but and things like that people recommend. There's so many decoys out there that. But I figure we'll start off with this. So, the first one I got for you is, and Chris, I sent you pictures of all this. You can pull it up after you guys answer without. I'll just let you pull it up. So the best shot load. What's your guys' answers in the best shot load?
Double lot buckshot.
All right. Skippy was just arrested. His first day goose hunting.
Well,
but it was steel shot. It was steel shot. It wasn't lead.
Oh, okay. So it was double buckshot, steel shot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you can convince the warden, I'm in.
I think it counts.
Definitely.
I don't. What is a typical load for goose? Ever.
Well, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, you're gonna take me on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because you got the whole book sitting in front of you. Go for it.
What do you mean the whole book?
I mean, I sent you little charts of everything that's.
Oh yeah, I'm ignoring that because I'm going by what I know.
So then,
I mean, we'll show what they say, but I just mean between us. Mine has always been 3-inch. I think 3-inch, the standard, double B steel.
So that's yours for shot recommendation.
In fact, what's really funny, the picture they have that you sent me is the exact box I have.
So now here's a question. When we talk load size, Chris, you're talking 3-inch steel, right? Are you using BB, BBB?
Yes.
Are you using tungsten?
Yes. No, I wish we had. I don't think you can use tungsten, can you?
I believe you can at this point. The only thing with tungsten is it's super expensive. Tungsten steel is very expensive. It's still steel.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that counted because, well, you know how they are around here.
Yeah, I agree. But tungsten steel is still steel. So you're still within regulations. But however, tungsten steel is you'll start getting into more expensive steel.
Yeah, I mean, just tungsten, like some of the beads I buy for time flies is tungsten. And they're double the price of a regular brass bead.
Well, imagine a box of shells.
Yeah. But what's nice about it is that what you thought you could hit at 40, you can probably hit at 60 with tungsten. It extends your range a bit.
Because it's heavier.
Yeah. It has better.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Better projectile. But it's more expensive.
I Google searched some of this stuff because I was curious what I felt was correct and wasn't. Mm-hmm. So I spent a bunch of time Google searching and seeing what Google had to say about it and other hunters. Yeah. And to be honest, choke tubes is different than I use completely.
Really?
Things like that. So yeah,
this is the same box. Yeah, same box I got.
So I hid his name, Chris. If you go to that same one.
What?
Right there you go. So the best shot load for geese. Yep. So I hid his name. Now I figured it didn't matter who it was.
Mm-hmm.
But this I thought was really good. So however most goose hunters agree that it takes larger shot size to penetrate the dense armor.
Yeah. Like
down feathers and break the bones of a hefty gander. This was something for me because I don't use this. So this was big I read up on. And a lot of guys agree if you research. My go-to for 95% of my goose hunting is 3-inch BB load.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you. I normally use 3.5-inch.
3.5, yep.
And I do BB or BBB. So that was for me. If you scroll up again, I didn't use this name, but you can see it says this is from World Champion Goose Hunter, and I just left his name out of it. But
yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that comes from World Champion Goose Hunter, Chris. He has access to all these guns. Okay, all these guns out there. He can shoot any gun he wants. I guarantee it if he's a World Champion Goose Caller. Mm-hmm. And this guy's only using a 3-inch shell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not using like a 3.5.
And I was impressed by that. I didn't think that would be the answer.
Now, hey, here's the question, Ben. You're only using a 3-inch shell, but what gauge are you using? 10 gauge, 12 gauge, what? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's a
good
great point. That's a great question. So in the searching, and all the Google searching I did, again, double checking my answers and what we are. I love how you led right into that, Skip. Now, I did not take a picture of this and send this. However, in the searching I did, you come up with two things. So every answer came back to a 12 gauge.
Yes.
There were gentlemen who said 10 gauge gives more oomph. I like my 10s. However, the top two guns in it was a 10 and 12, but 12 gauge was your highest percentage, which I was impressed by, because a 10 gauge is a bigger gauge.
What do you use, Ben and Chris?
Well,
Chris.
I've always used a 12, whether it's an 870, the Wingmaster, or it's I swear to God, it's my favorite of all time, the Mossberg 500. I know people crap on it, but it's the one that's never let me down. You can open it and I can stick it right in there. That's what she said. And but I'm saying,
Mossberg, man, listen, everybody got their go-to. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I agree with that totally. So like my go-to goose gun has always been a Remington 870 Super Mag Express. Chris will tell you I have killed a lot of geese over the years with that. And then I have always used extra full choke with 3.5-inch mags. Again, I use BB or BBB.
What's in your? There you go.
Yeah,
I was going to say, what choke tube do they recommend?
So okay, so in their recommendation, which I thought was another thing, so choke tubes. So let me give you this. We're on this top 5 choke tubes right now out there for goose hunting. The Mojo Outdoors Fatal Shot, True Glow Titan Adjustable, Briley Chokes 360, Click Quick Change Choke System, and Kicks Industries. That's the top 4. I had top 5, but it was blurry for some reason. I cut the top 5 off.
But even more importantly, what is it? What does it do? I mean, I know, but I mean,
so these chokes are giving them now again, this is of 2022. But what's funny is I screenshotted this and went to 2023 and 2024. And the answers weren't much different. It was the same brand chokes. So what I thought was cool is these choke tubes are giving you the greatest patterns for what you're doing.
No, that's what I'm saying. What does a choke tube do for it? Because we got improved, you got modified, you got
right. Well, so a choke tube. The goal of the choke tube is to keep your pattern again improved. Modified's out here. Yep. Improved is in here. Full is here. Extra full's here. So your choke tubes all move through. So let me tell you another thing I thought was really cool in all this. So when you're looking up all these choke tubes, right? Mm-hmm. Now you go to, and there's a picture of this. So I, again, have always used extra full. I want to reach 60 yards as I'm hunting geese. Everything I read up on says that's horse shit. So if you flip through there, Chris, it actually tells you to use an improved cylinder.
That's what I've always used. Yeah.
Yep. So they want you to use an improved cylinder. Mm-hmm. A reason being is when you set up for goose and ducks, you standardly set up, your geese and ducks come in to about 40 yards or less, which honestly makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And the reason they say 40 or less for this or for turkey chokes is because that's what the chokes are rated for. So what it's going to do is it's going to say, like, a certain percentage of your shot, your actual BBs, are going to be within a tight circle at 40 yards. And the different chokes will give you a wider and wider spread as it goes out. Now they say 50 or 60%, something like that. Don't quote, but it's around there because some of the shot will actually go off on the, you've seen it on the paper, where not everything's going to hit.
Another thing I read really hard, I think you guys will really like, and I personally, again, have never done this. So these are all, that's why I thought this was a great way to bring in the show and talk about what we're talking about, because I was shocked when I Google searched a lot of people's answers and what they recommend. So I personally have never, ever in my life took my gun out like I do for turkey and patterned my gun. I have never. Steel shot's expensive.
Oh yeah.
You know, I put in an extra full. I'm confident I'm going to kill. Absolutely not. These guys all that are hunting geese at a high level are patterning their steel shot choke.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I was super impressed by. So now that leads me into the next thing. I'm going to ask you guys a question. Chris can pull the answers up. I found them. When you guys are shooting at geese, ducks, I mean, it honestly, I'm going to use goose because goose is our subject tonight. But if you're leading a bird, a goose this tonight, what lead do you give? So when a bird's in the middle of flight, flying left to right or right to left, you have to put your bead in front of that goose.
Oh, of course.
Okay? Or you're never going to hit it. If you shoot at the goose, you're going to hit behind it, right? Like any other bird you shoot at. Now, geese fly a little higher level. So what distance do you lead a bird?
Depends how far away they are.
Agree. Distance is a factor. I agree. However, say I had a 20-yard shot. Give me a number.
Give it about a foot.
About a foot?
About a foot in
5.
front of their head. Yeah.
What are you going, Skip?
5 foot.
5 foot. All right.
I don't hunt
all right.
geese.
It's okay. I want you to answer honestly what you thought the answer was. So, Chris, you have that up on the chart. Let's pop that up on the screen.
Do I?
Yep, I sent you it.
Okay, hold on.
I have a little chart.
So
that I
we
sent.
are here.
Yeah, we're probably out of line where we're at. We just started talking about stuff, and I ran with it.
Oh, look, there it is. Oh no, when you
There you
save it from Facebook or the Messenger thing, it always gives it the weird names.
So Chris, guess what? You hit the right answer.
I was right. Holy crap!
Yep.
Yeah.
So for geese at 20 yards, you want around 6 to 12 inches, which
I would never shoot at 50. I would.
Well,
not.
see, hey,
I've
at
knocked
50,
geese
I'm
down.
right.
Yes,
at
at
50,
50,
I'm
you
right.
are dead on.
Listen, I've knocked geese down at 60 yards. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
I've knocked turkeys down at 60 yards.
No,
That extra full choke is a big deal. But again, at turkey season, I patterned my gun.
Mm,
For geese, I'm just hoping like, oh, it's making 60. You know what I mean? But I thought this was really cool information, so that's why I asked you guys. At 35 yards, I will lead 2 to 3 feet. Now, at 35 yards, you're leading 2 to 3 feet.
mm-hmm.
At 50 yards, I'm going to lead 4 to 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
When I shoot ducks are a little faster.
Yeah.
I almost double that. That's insane.
Yeah. But it's the shoot where they're going to be and not where they are, or else you're not going to get them. And that's something that a lot of people need to practice on. Skeet shooting helps a bit with that.
I do agree, but I think there's not a skeet shoot out there that I own anyway that I can teach to shoot a goose or a duck. They fly. They move fast. Mm-hmm. All the ones I have, I mean, even if I turn them up, I don't think I can throw 35 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour. I might be able to get close to 35.
You're going to have to
I might be able to get in the goose range, but duck range, I don't think so.
You're going to have Haley paint up a couple softballs and stick them through the pitching machine.
Yeah, that's true. That I can shoot them at that at 55. I got a lot of softballs to get rid of because I'm moving.
That's what I was saying. You're in there.
Man, think about that. We shoot a lot of softballs, boys.
We'll even paint them up like geese.
Yeah, you put goose heads.
There's our next video.
It's a good video.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
I put up videos for us before I got locked out. I put videos up until September 3rd. So we're pretty covered. So I just wanted to let you know we're good.
So we're going to move on to Barrel.
Keep the videos coming in. Speaking of videos coming in, we do have another guy that's going to be sending us videos that he's doing. I just met him at he's the dad of one of my kids' friends. And I started talking to him. And turns out he's a big hunter and he likes fishing and everything. And so he's going to start sending us videos too. So I can't wait for that. I'm trying to get him to come on, but you know how it took like 6 years to get Skip on.
Yeah. Now he's hooked though. Now he has the whole system there. Look.
Yep. Yeah.
So before we move on, and we move forward with barrel size, we're going to talk about today's product of the week.
Okay.
I love that.
Truth be told, this is my bad because I had all 3 of our product of the week videos done for the next 3 weeks, but when I uploaded them to YouTube, now I don't have access to them. And
Agree.
I deleted them off my computer.
About. Well, it doesn't fit what we're talking about anyway. So the good news is we have a product in that we're going to share tonight that I personally don't have it in my hand right now. I'm packing and moving. I have it, but it's up in a tote, piled in somewhere, and I can't find it. But we're going to talk about Real Duck decoys. So Real Duck decoys, it takes your regular propylene decoys, full-bodied, and they slice holes in, and they put polypropylene wings on them. Now, I cannot tell you that I own their Goosed decoy. I would be lying, and I don't want to be a liar. However, here's a little pictures of them. Okay, you can see the body and the polypropylene wings.
Mm-hmm.
You drive a stake.
We used for crow, right?
Yeah, same system for crow, but they're geese. So you drive a stake in the ground. You bend to 45 on a 1/4-inch steel rod. And the 1/4-inch steel rod sits down inside, and you can see on this video Chris has up, it inserts into the body, and the polypropylene rings bend, right? So you control where if they're bend, they look like they're landing, or if they just look like they're coming down slow. You control that. Now, what I like about that is, again, I use them for crow and duck. What I like about it big time is not only that's a great picture of what it looks like.
Yeah, no, not even joking. Yeah.
So not only do they come in and look like they're landing, all right, you can see the pole, you can see the rod, but when the wind grabs them, it's all natural. Now, Chris has experienced this with the crows. It's an all natural, like a sway. So it looks like it's rocking to come down, and they are an amazing product. I personally own 2 crows and a duck. I only have 1 single duck in it. Rods come separate. In this case, you can see on the screen, we just pulled up their website to show you the product. $94.95 is the Assault Goose. Yep. However, like anything else, if you contact them and tell them Big Sexy Outdoors sent you, they will give you a discount. So always check into them. Guys, when you ask me if this product works, I personally will never promote a product I have not used. Even in product of the week, there is times I'll give you a product and maybe tell you some flaws with the product and some positives because it's products we've purchased. But today's product of the week, being goose hunting, we use this to our advantage. Love it. Yeah. And this is Real Duck decoys. Check them guys out.
We have used these.
I almost burped.
That's all right. That's what we're here for. Ooh, we can assault a bald eagle. No, I'm kidding. No, we've used their crow decoys. For the life of me, I can't. They have tons of duck ones and everything else. But yeah,
but it is an awesome product. Now, Chris, in your experience, what do you think of it?
Well, that's what I was about to say. What I liked about it is it can spin on that the metal pole to make it look like it's actually swerving to come in. You know what I mean? It just looks like the real thing, and that's all you can really ask for.
That was one of my favorite parts of using Real Duck decoys. I feel like it looks very natural. There's no motors, no spinning wings.
Right.
The wings actually look real out and like it's landing. So I know when I'm crow hunting, I use 2. I make it look like there's a crow always landing from each end.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a product I love.
But you look at that and you tell me it doesn't look like they're just coming into land.
Again, I love them. I have
does.
Now, here's one. Do you see the bottom one, Skip?
Yeah, the way they're set up. I mean, that's the way they land, usually one
Yep.
at a time. You know what I mean?
So if you see that setup right there with the one lower and the one higher, that's the setup I run.
Mm-hmm.
Chris will tell you, I always have one real low and one real high. That's
Then
the
it gives
same
a
setup
different-
I run.
It gives a progression for their landing. Like it looks like it's like it's just a normal day. Because I don't know if anybody knows, geese hate other geese except for ones in their family. So when they see that a bunch of them that are in their area are already landed, then they want to come in and hang out more. Usually, hopefully. That's the goal with these anyway.
Well, speaking of ducks landing, so let me tell you this. For a lot of guys that don't goose hunt or intrigued by a little info on goose setup, standardly on a goose decoy setup, they recommend
Hey, Mike.
anywhere from 40 to 60 decoys on minimum.
Yeah,
However, However, they do say you can pull it off with approximately 3 dozen decoys. I will tell you that I personally, if it isn't mine, I haven't used more than a dozen.
Yeah.
I just set up off creek beds and bottoms to look like it's, somewhere so you can't land a bunch. So I cheat the system a little bit. But the one cool fact a lot of people don't know is in your goose setup, you should always have ducks. Always. The geese feel more comfortable when there's ducks with them and tend to land closer to the ducks. So research that. You'll find that's true. That's definitely something I've learned over the years of goose hunting and other people with decoys. It's a really cool thing. And it binds to be true. Another thing is wind. So you got to ask yourself, will goose land in the wind or through the wind?
Are you asking me?
Yep.
Through the wind?
Yeah, usually they come down in like if the wind will be coming up and they'll be coming down in.
Yeah, so that's a cool fact as well. Most things come opposite through the wind. A goose will land in the wind. If you ever watch their feathers when they open, it actually grabs the opposing wind. So the wind's coming at them and they're so that's a lot of things people don't know too. So as you're doing your blind setup and the things you want to do, all things to think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of blind setups, right? We had questions on, well, what's a good blind setup? So I got you the easiest answer possible for the guys who hunt them. And again, this is a top percentage on the internet, not just mine. Nope, those aren't it. Those are ways to hide. That is not sorry about that, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Keep going. Those are top 5 blinds we have out. So keep going. Oh, nope, we passed it. No, we didn't.
No. That's all I got, Booba. Okay.
Well, it probably didn't go through because I edited a bunch.
It's all right. Things happen.
So basically, on a blind setup for anybody, it's, we got a couple questions on it. On a blind setup, if you're making an all-natural blind or you're hunting a permanent blind or a big blind, one of the biggest things that you run into is, I don't know if you've ever been with a professional, I say professional or experienced goose hunter. They will always say, and I could pull a video from Macy White, don't look up.
Right. Yeah.
Don't look up. Now, why did I say that? They can pick out your eyeballs.
And I don't mean peck them out, like rip them out your face.
A goose can see that.
They can pick out your eyeballs. Never look up, ever.
No. You'll see a lot of new people will. They'll be like, "Where are they? Where are they?" And then they'll pull off.
Gone. And go. One thing you want to look for basically you can hide just about anywhere as long as they say they recommend that you cover your top half, so your ceiling or whatever you want to sit in, with natural brush, and the same with your surroundings. So you either want to shoot through an opening, basically like windows in your setup, or you want to something that you can flip a top open when you go to shoot. And what I found is the windows are better because you just kind of hold the gun out and they don't know what's there. It kind of looks like tree branches and you give them a good waylay when they come by. However, if you flip the top open, it kind of stuns them. They're like, oh crap, and they're trying to fly back. It kind of gives you that quick. As long as you're quick enough, you get that good shot. Or not on a full fly. Either setup works, but always remember, cover your face. I always tell everybody, face mask, gloves, hide your body as best you can, and then don't look up. It's always been a tip I learned as a young hunter hunting when it comes to geese and ducks. Do not look up.
I never would even thought of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a true thing. I've seen them turn. I've seen them come flying right into the decoys and pick up and turn the opposite way and leave.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yep, it is. It is really neat. So before we get in, we do also have top 5 blinds in 2024. Now, I'm not going to pull them up right now. I have another question for you guys. What do you think? What do you think is the recommended barrel size for goose hunt?
I don't know. That's not something.
I give Chris, he could cheat. He has all the answers up. He's not cheating, so I give him he can cheat at any point.
That's what I have up. I don't.
No, cheat. I said you could cheat. You're not cheating.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
36-inch.
Again, so let me go to this. Again, an answer I thought.
If it were my educated guess, I would recommend a shorter barrel because it would also help with keeping the pattern tighter. But that's just me.
So I always was under the impression the longer the barrel, the longer your pattern will stay tighter through, right? And I'm not saying that's not set true. However, in goose hunting, top percentage shows.
Oh, we got the blind thing.
Yeah.
That's the ducks. That's the tubes.
That's the ducks.
That's my porn. No, you can tell I don't look at the...
Yeah, you can tell. There you go.
Hey, look at that.
So barrel length for goose recommended in any waterfowl is 28 to 32 inches. So you're both kind of right. You're not, Chris, when you said short barrel, I knew you didn't mean, home invasion shotgun.
No, you're not sawing off there.
So I knew you didn't. And Skip, when you said 36, I knew you were trying to reach out and touch because that's what I would think, right? But your average is 30 inches. So that was I wasn't ready for that. Again, I would think it'd be the longer the better. In every case, and I Google search and double check my answers to what we were telling people tonight, it shows that the most popular is 30 inches. So I thought that was cool info. I thought it was really cool info we could share and make people think a little bit because it's things I wasn't 100% on top of,
Yeah, it's all new to me.
There it was. So here's a goose blind on a pontoon boat.
Yes. So speaking of your head.
Whoop. I know I had like 3 pictures of it. So, but like you said, they get mixed up in the
Nick
Facebook saving. But yeah, in here is just is a mesh platform. And yeah, this is, you tie your brush to it. I would have probably Velcros on here to keep the brush on, but that could get expensive. I know. But
now they also make cattails and strips now.
Yeah. Now I'm not. Look, I'm not an expert. I don't go to this kind of length because I don't have that kind of money. I am very bare bones. I will find. Well, you know what? Let me ask you this: where do you prefer to find them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, in my experiences, there's 2 places I find geese. 2. One of my favorite, honestly, is I like to sneak creek beds.
Really?
Same with ducks. If you can sneak creek bed, if you can sneak a creek bed and pop them in the creek, catch them on the creek, they're a ton of fun. 2 shots going down the creek, boom, boom. Hopefully you get both of them because there's usually 2. And it's awesome. However, I've over the years have what I call snuck up on a goose, which is good. I get the geese. However, I feel like when in those scenarios, we don't. It's not a sport. Like we just pop the goose. I've done it. I mean, let's be real. I prefer a nice goose setup. Again, I don't have a huge goose blind like that, that people make and buy. A few years ago, I had the ones you sit down and fold out, which we'll talk about. But at this point in my life, I sit on a wood line.
Yep.
So I like to sit off a wood line. I will actually sit off a wood edge, approximately 40, 50 yards, and then put my decoy spread the same distance. Because I know if them geese come down, they're going to make a big loop. When they make that loop, hit them, that's when I'm going to pop them.
Yeah, well, yeah, you want to try to keep them close, but at the same time, you don't want them to see you. And that's
But
all
they're
I
not
ever
dumb.
did. No. But that's all I've ever really done, too, is find the natural cover that's already there. I don't have a special blind. I don't have anything special, but I think we've shot more out of fields than we have off of water.
Absolutely.
And that's something that people don't realize is, look for where they're feeding in between where they rest on the water.
So I can tell you my own experience of duck hunting that I've already taken a pair of chest waders.
Yep.
And sat in the middle of a bunch of cattails on a chair.
Did he freeze or did we?
So I've had that happen numerous occasions. So, it's big thing is just cover. I don't think I think like anything else, Chris, I think you can go to the major extreme. And I think in some scenarios, the major extreme pays a reward. I think if you're in a very heavy polluted goose area, again, we're going to talk about top 5 blinds of 2024 hunting blinds for geese. But I feel like then sometimes the money's well worth. I feel like if you're not a real big avid goose hunter and it's not something you're passionate, like Skip's passionate about. Look at Skip's room. You think he likes fly fishing?
Nah.
So I think in a scenario where you're not an avid and it's not lifestyle for you, I don't think you have to go to extreme measures. I think that you take some of this advice and you just use it, and if it may become your passion after doing it the cheapo way, and you may end up, I'm selling 10 guns and buying a big goose blind.
I mean, it is about just make sure you stay hidden, like you said. Don't look up. Keep everything. In fact, when I was filming for goose hunting, I'll take a piece of electrical tape and put it over the light on the camera. You know how has the little light for the microphone. Put a piece of tape over it. They don't see it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta be real well hidden there. Yeah, and it's just, where do you want to stay? What's your environment at, and can you easily move around and shoot when the time comes? Because you don't want to be fighting with your cover to throw your gun up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree totally.
Now, what are your guys' thoughts on calling? Because I know some people will call every 2 seconds, and some people don't.
That's tough. I've hunted with guys I personally have hunted with guys who has, when I tell you the Mr. T chain of goose calls.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking 10, 12 goose calls on there now. I don't even know how they can shoot. Like it's, I pity the fool.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, geese will be coming and they're going to be like, and listen, it works. It works. I want you to know. When you have 60 geese out, the object is to replicate 60 geese.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the only guy calling, I can understand the Mr. T necklace of, you know what I mean? So it's all in what you're after. It's all in where you think you should be in it. I mean, I only set out about 12 decoys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set out about 12 decoys, and that's at my most. I'll set out about 12, and then I'll throw a couple ducks out when years ago, I used to put out all these decoys. I sold so many. For one, I don't hunt geese hardly as much as I used to. It used to be a passion for me. Now, spots around here are so limited. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry hunts them.
Yeah.
It's not worth the stress to me when there's other things I love to hunt too. The only thing I feel bad for, truthfully, is my dog. Because my dog wants to hunt him. So that's always a feel bad. Other than that, it is what it is. And I think when it comes to calling, it depends on the amount of decoys you have out. I think it depends on the amount of decoys you have out. If you have 10 guys out and you have 60 decoys and 10 guys are calling, probably be all right. Right?
Well, not only that, but I think when they're coming in, as in when they're starting to circle and they look like they're ready to hit and land, I'd stop calling. I wouldn't do it anymore, because by that time they're already doing all the talking for you and they're already engaged, ready to come down.
Yeah, I think
plus they're pretty close at that point, and the movement of doing it might spook.
Now, I've seen that go different ways. I've already had them fold up and collapse, and I'm out of here. Boot, scoot, and boogie, I call it, when they see that happen. So, my recommendation to anybody that asks, how do I call a goose? And it will always be same with turkeys or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Go sit at a field in your car and listen. Because they make a sound feeding, they make a sound flying, and they make a sound landing. And they do sound different. So that's always the recommendation in calling geese. Ducks are the same way.
Real quick, to anybody on Facebook watching it there, that's fine, but we had a hiccup. I'm not sure it's still 100% connected. If you're having an issue, let me know. That's all I can really say, and I'll try to reconnect it. But it seems to be okay now. But if there's an issue with it when you're watching, just let me know.
So we do have for you guys top 5 hunting blinds of 2024. However, before we go into that, we found tonight is goose hunting. We did find a funny video. Chris, did I send that to you?
Let me double check quick.
We do have a funny video that we pertain to goose hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to pull that up, let you guys check that out quick. It's pretty simple, pretty quick.
So,
we did find one we wanted to show you. So we all three laughed.
We can't show that.
But for the love of God, I can't show that. I would feel horrible showing that and some kid watching our show.
Yeah.
Had a lot of profanity on it, but it was hilarious.
It was funny. But you're looking for...
We don't have one of those.
No, well, I just used it for the funny one because I didn't have.
Well, we weren't sent any, so that sucks. But however, we are going to use our funny clip.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because now we can say, hey, send us your stuff. No,
we've been saying send us your stuff. That's something huge. We made that segment just for viewers.
Yeah. Now I got the guy's name, Parkman. That was the guy's name that's coming on. And he's going to be sending us stuff. Plus, I don't know if you're going to care. Kat just sent me this.
We never care what Kat says.
I know. Apparently, somebody's actually at the beach reading my book.
Oh, that's awesome!
There you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Are they at a beach with clothing?
I hope not. Because I mean, what kind of
bookmark? Cover to hide something in there. I'm just saying.
It's a book. It's a bookmark. Just put it right in there.
The only people that read Chris's book are on a nude beach.
Yeah, they're like,
I'll take it.
By the beast of your eyes. Oh God.
Flip the page.
So this is what I laughed out loud when I sent this to Chris. Chris picks them, Skip pick. We all take turns picking funny videos. I laughed out loud with that because I've literally had that happen to me numerous occasions. I'll sit till like 9:30 and I'm like, dude, he's so bad. I gotta get up. I gotta get up right now. I gotta go. I sneak out the blind. I'll be home with a bunch of guys in blind. I'll walk over, start peeing on the wood line, and you hear this honk, honk. And I'm like, are you shitting me right now? Trying to flip it back up and run. Been there a million times.
Well, did I tell you this one, Skip? How I got my deer this year? Well, this last year. It was 4 o'clock, ready to be, soon time to go. And I'm standing up and I grab the Gatorade bottle and you do what you do. And then that's when it starts walking in. So I had to quick put the lid on the bottle and grab the crossbow. Oh, yeah. But I got him.
That was a mid-naked shot.
But it was worth it. That's probably what happened. It started laughing and then it couldn't run.
Stopped dead and was like, "Hey, it's a shot."
Was it a buck or a doe?
It was a buck, yeah.
Probably
one that TJ mounted for me.
Yeah. What size? Well, how many points was it?
What was it? An
7
8 or 6?
7.
Yes,
it was at 7. Chris's
but
first buck.
But it was real tight. You know what I mean? Like real small.
Little basket rack.
Yeah. I forgot what they called them.
Hey, speaking of that, Chris, that spot, they seen 2 monsters tonight. They say are wall hangers.
Nice. Hey, to me, they're all the wall hanger.
These 2 here, they say are being PA record books.
Skippy's called a Harvey wall banger, but that's a different story.
Well, that was because of your book. So, we are at, what are we at? Dude, we're good time. We make good time.
No
so
way.
we're about 46 minutes before you guys go.
Holy
we
crap.
do have top 5 hunting blinds of 2024 for goose hunting for you. We want to share.
Yeah. Present, share screen, window, pictures, pretty, go. Now, I cannot use these. I can't. I don't care if it's rated as the best one in the world. I cannot use them.
So this is a Thunder Bay lay flat duck blind. This here, if you look, there's a pad in the back. Sit you up on an angle. You hide your face, and then you just flip it open as the geese get close.
Yeah, they're cool. I'm not denying they're not cool. It's just I have too much trouble with them.
And then,
there was that shot. Look at that. There it is. There's the interior.
That's the inside of that blind you were showing.
Yeah, they said it can hold like 1,500 pounds. So they should.
Looks like a trailer.
Well, yeah, it's a pontoon boat. Yeah.
So this is a Thunder Bay bare bones lightweight layout blind.
Oh, so this one's like your zipper necked up to it.
This is almost like a sleeping bag, like Skip was talking about.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, this is just like almost what Skip was talking about with the sleeping bag. And you just pop out the end.
Is that one again?
Then
this one I thought actually looked interesting.
So this one I like. This one I like because if you look, you can see where your legs go. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it has the big shooting doors on it.
Now, with any of these lay down blinds, do you still cover with whether it's corn, whether it's wheat, whether it's whatever vegetation is around?
So my recommendation is always to put natural
fill it in
surroundings. So I'm not telling you got to go hog wild. There's many guys that don't. I am saying that look at it like this. If you're out in the field and you see a rock, there's usually weeds growing around the rock, right? So they're seeing you as that rock or that log. So if you just go put a couple, say, cattails or weeds up against it to make it look more natural, all beneficial.
Yep.
This one here was actually number 1 in the top 5. This is the Avian XG blind, 4-person hunting blind, unique G-shaped frame. I have actually hunted out of one of these.
I was going to say, this is one I'd like to try.
These are awesome. Now, Skip, you remember we talked about hiding your head?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. So you put a chair in there, you sit down, and then you basically only shoot through the window. But, I mean, it's a full-length window.
Yeah.
But that is what you're after.
I'm going to stop. I know. I'm a vegetable, but just trust me on this one.
All right, celery.
Now, this is the A-frame version.
Same thing, but doubled.
Yeah, because the G-frame has this part here cut out. But these are the things I like, especially if you can leave them up.
Now, here's the thing. If you look at that one, the roof is open.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those don't look up things.
Yeah, as opposed to the G frame, which has the ceiling kind of a deal, like the partial ceiling.
It's preference. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to preference. What are you looking for? Me, I like shooting out that window. I would rather shoot out that window.
I got to show him this one.
That window is only about 12 inches on the top, and that blind overall is 4 foot, 5 foot.
Wait,
You know,
see
so
this?
it's not much to cover you. It's just enough to keep your head back like this as they're coming.
Wait to see this one, Skip.
That
I look. I don't know anything about these people, but if I had my choice, it wouldn't have been this one.
So I'm going to say that's not a goose blind. However, if I was hunting geese from the Sahara Desert, that might work. Well, so not being smart, but we talked about your surroundings, Chris.
Yeah.
So that blind is based on what are your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
That blind is perfect if that's what you're doing. I think that's great. So that's a prime example of what we talked about with hiding your surroundings.
I'm just too fat.
And I don't know if you noticed, but that blind has straps to actually hold the stuff on.
Oh,
and
these
a
here.
doggy door.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say
And a
the
doggy
same.
door. Yep.
Yeah, right.
So
there.
that I think those hold 2 people, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, it does say it fits 2. Or
Yeah, I
one
think
of
those
me,
were 2 people. So
one of us and filming equipment.
That would be me and my dog. At my size, that would be me and my dog if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I were going, this would be the style I like. Just because, like you said, it helps to cover the head, and it gives you a nice shooting lane out of here.
It's not much, but it's just enough, you know?
Right. That's what I was going for.
So that one there is top 5 in 2024, that blind right there.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm. That was the top blind of 2024.
Nice.
Which is on sale, if you remember, at $359.99.
Could be.
But I do not hunt geese enough to do that.
No.
Neither do I.
However, one thing
I've done it where I just had a piece of burlap that was camo on, I think it was 4 2x2s that I sharpened, and I just rolled it up and I took it with me and just staked it in the ground and then put stuff up above in front of it. You know what I mean? You don't have to get high tech with this. It's how detailed do you want to go? Like I said, if I had a place where I knew this is my spot, I promise you I'd get this kind of thing in a heartbeat. Even if I had to build it myself, I would get this style without a second. I have
to tell you, Chris, that I've hunted in something like this, built as a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
They backed it right in and dropped it off. Everything was camoed.
Mm-hmm.
They just back it in, drop it off. You crawl up in the trailer, get in it, hunt from it. When you're done with your day, hook it back up to the truck, and you leave. That, my friend, is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But now, who can afford to take a trailer?
I think
just turn a whole trailer
into a blind.
Yeah.
You know, that's not, again, if you're one of them guys who have the craftsmanship and you can get a buddy to weld some steel in the bottom and take an old trailer and fix it up, that's perfect to do something like that. You know, I have a boat I'm selling right now. If I can't sell the boat, I'm dropping a boat off at the scrapyard and I'm going to use a trailer. I'll probably do something like that. But
hey, wasn't sliding in the trailer the name of your adult movie?
Yes, but I try to not tell people that because I get a little nervous. People might find out.
You get famous.
Well, I don't want to get too many views on YouTube too quick.
Look at Tony.
I think I've seen that video.
Yeah, you did.
I think I probably ended up filming it.
That one's under another name.
Yeah,
Chris was the cameraman,
right?
So nobody send us photo of the week, but we'll end with Tony's. We'll steal some of Tony's. So Tony, if you're watching, we're stealing some of your pictures to share. Man, look at the little ones all over.
That. Yeah, he's going to be ready for this year. I promise you. But yeah,
one thing I can tell you with turkeys is you'll see a lot of turkeys in the fall and not in the spring in areas. You have some areas where it's polluted with all year round. Then you have them areas that I'll hunt in the fall. Like I have one area I hunt in the fall. I hear turkeys every morning, even gobble in the fall.
Yeah.
But then I have them areas where if I hunt that same area in the spring, we're going to burn around.
Huh. Is this just the short version?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Oh,
have
this is the one
you
I
have the
sent
sound
you.
turned off.
Taking
What
fishing
was-
string off the rod sucks, and we're gonna have some fun doing it.
Run.
The
Yeah.
2 pounds of tannerite does take string off the reels. All I'm saying.
Literally.
Yeah.
It does. Now, where the string or the reel goes, that's
It's
another
around
video,
there somewhere.
right?
Yeah.
I couldn't answer either of them. However, it was there. But
No, I didn't see that. I like the sunset in the back with that.
we did good. We had 55 minutes tonight.
Yeah. Now, before we go anywhere, I got a question I'm going to ask both of you.
Okay, you're married. Remember that.
I'm
She
married to
doesn't
Chris.
care. She doesn't care.
Ben's the one you gotta worry about.
Well, yeah,
Hey,
that's why I take him on convention trips overnight.
I identify as a toaster, so leave me out of it.
yep, I'm a youth hunter.
Hey, I'm glad you identify as a
Youth hunter.
toaster because I'm going to take you in the tub.
Oh my God, the jokes are just getting worse.
But anyway, so what are you going to be doing this weekend, Skip?
I don't know, but that joke was electrifying.
Well, my wife leaves for the beach tomorrow night,
See?
which means Saturday. I don't want to say it because then Ben will be all disappointed. I think I'm heading to Pine.
We're no longer friends.
Mike has to work, so I think I'm heading to Pine.
Now, you know where I'm going Saturday?
Where?
Because I would give anything to go through Pine Creek, but I am going bow fishing.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're going bow fishing.
I'm going bow fishing with the Corey Brosman and his brother. Brosman Charters Bow Fishing in Delaware for stingrays. I am super excited for that.
Are you going to bring
That's
some back?
Yes, and the best part of that video is we're gonna have Chris do a catch and cook.
I'm not catching anything, unfortunately, but because that's my favorite. That's the only kind of fishing I like is the is what he's doing there.
Have you ever eaten it?
Never had stingray.
Nope. We looked up a bunch of recipes, Chris and I, so we're excited that we figured Chris will get a catch and cook out of it, and we'll do a video on bow fishing. I'm going to be the only guy there with cameras. I bought 3 cameras just to film this. I'm afraid it's going to be a nightmare, but we're going to try it.
Should be fun.
May not get a whole lot of good video, a lot of misses maybe.
You'll have fun on the way down.
But yeah, it'll definitely be a good time. So honestly, if I got to be honest, Corey Brosman, if you're watching, the only reason I really wanted to do this trip was because I get to meet you. Like I can't go, I can't afford it right now. I'm moving and stuff. And then they told me it was Corey Brosman's charter, and I was like, yeah, I'll go. I went from damn poor to I'm gonna make that work. So if you're watching, that's the main reason I'm going. I want to meet you. So I hope you're there. I know it's you and your brother who run it.
Where are you going for that, Ben?
Delaware. Yeah. So I'm hoping Monday we get on. We get to talk a little bit about it.
Yep. Do you want me to set that up as the topic for next week?
We can. Yeah, let's do that. Just put in a Big Sexy's experience bow fishing with Brosman Brother Charters or something like that.
I'll make a cool title. You suck at it. Yeah.
I do suck at it.
No, you fixed mine, so that's all good.
But listen, so I love that we're at our hour mark. We hit an hour mark, and honestly, we stayed completely on topic. I think we covered a ton of goose hunting. And again, we pulled from areas of it where what we do versus what the higher percentage of the population's doing. So I thought that was really cool that we got to do that. So I'm glad that we did set it up and do it the way we did it. I'm going to add to please, dude, that blind is awesome. I'm going to add to please send us your photo of the picture of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Video. It takes nothing but 5 seconds for you to email us or Facebook us and say, hey, share this, will you? Last week we had Jack Schaefer from Berwick. Appreciated his.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have one again, and we made the segment. I'd like to keep using this segment. BSO guys, you're gonna have to start filling in these segments. So send us a picture or video of the week. If we have nothing else, we'll share one of ours. I hate having it empty. I left it empty hoping somebody took pity on us, but there's no pity anymore.
Yep.
Hey, there's your boat trailer, Ben.
Skip. There you go.
Dude, that's awesome, isn't it? I've been in one of them, dude. They're incredible.
That's a dream one right there.
The one that's in the water, that's amazing.
Oh my God. I would freak out. I couldn't do it.
I mean, how do you even set it up?
I know.
Dude, you got to admit, though, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
you know
would
you're
be
getting
afraid.
wet that day, though.
I mean, yeah, what if it floods?
Uh-huh. You are swimming. It's neat. I mean, it's something I've never seen. Literally, I've never seen that before today.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Send us your photos. Send us your videos. Send us a funny video of the week. If you guys watch a funny TikTok or a funny YouTube short and you think it's funny enough to share, send it to us. I mean, we want to see it. The one thing we want, and guys, please chime in here. The one thing we want is our viewers involved. We want to hear from you. We want to see your opinion, your adventures, your stories.
And I need to get one of them assault guns to kill these flies because this one's been annoying me this whole time.
But please do that, guys. Join us. Skip, thanks for joining us again.
Thanks,
Chris,
yeah,
as
good seeing
always,
you,
great
Skip.
time. And we're going to call it a night. God bless, man. Have a great night.
See you
Hope you
all.
enjoyed.